Hey, all you grooms and grooms-to-be, let's face it, we've been duped.
A shiny stone is supposed to symbolize eternal love. Really, it sounds romantic, but what if I told you that we've been led to believe this story for over a century? The truth about diamonds, how they became the ultimate symbol of love, isn't as sparkling as it seems. And I'll show you the marketing tricks and cultural perceptions that might just make you rethink what the diamond ring really means.
Diamonds, they are everywhere, in love songs, in movies, even in our dreams.
Their shape, diamonds are a girl's best friend.
For more than 100 years, they've been the go-to symbol of eternal love. But here's the thing, the real story of diamonds goes way beyond romance or rarity. The nature of diamonds is fascinating, not only from a scientific perspective, but only culturally and economically. It is one of the most common precious stones on Earth, and what makes them special is not their rarity underground, but the control strategies above ground.
Culturally, diamonds carry different meanings. In Western cultures, they are associated with love and commitment,
largely due to impactful marketing campaigns. In contrast, other cultures prefer symbols like gold or jade for commitment. This diversity shows that the significance of diamonds is shaped more than targeted campaigns than their inherent value.
Okay, let's nerd out for a second. Bear with me, it's cool stuff. Diamonds are pure carbon, just like the graphite in your pencil.
Yep, the same thing you used to write your grocery list would have been a diamond if nature had applied a bit more pressure.
About 50,000 atmospheres of it. It's kind of funny, right? Something so mundane and something so luxurious are made of the exact same stuff.
The only difference, time, pressure, and structure. Here's how it works. In graphite, carbon atoms are arranged in flat layers that can slide over each other, like pages in a notebook. That's why pencils are soft and leave marks on paper. But in diamonds, the carbon atoms bond tightly in a three-dimensional network. Each atom is connected to four others in a super strong tetrahedral pattern, creating one of the most rigid and durable structures on Earth.
Chemically, it's C versus C, but physically, they are worlds apart. This ultra-tight bondings is what makes diamonds the hardest natural materials known to humanity.
They can cut through just about anything, steel, glass, even other diamonds. And what about the sparkle? That's all thanks to the unique way diamonds interact with light. When light enters a diamond, it slows down, bends, and scatters into a spectrum of colors because of the process called dispersion. This is why diamonds don't just reflect light, they refract and break it apart into rainbows. Their brilliance is nature's magic trick perfected over millions of years.
Speaking of millions a year, let's talk about how diamonds form.
They are born deep within the Earth's mantle, 150 or 200 kilometers below the surface. Down there, the temperatures reach a scorching 1200 Celsius, and the pressure is over 15,000 atmospheres. Under these extreme conditions, carbon atoms crystallize into a diamond structure. But here's the kicker. This process takes millions, sometimes even billions of years. These ancient crystals then hitch a ride to the surface during volcanic eruptions, trapped in rocks like kimberlite or lamproite. Without these eruptions, we'd never see diamonds at all.
Now, here's something that blows your mind. Scientists have also figured out how to grow diamonds in a lab.
By mimicking these natural conditions, they use methods like high pressure, high temperature, or chemical vapor deposition to create diamonds in weeks, not millions of years. These lab-grown diamonds are virtually identical to natural ones in terms of structure and sparkle. They are also more ethical and eco-friendly. So while natural diamonds are impressive, the fact that we can recreate this ancient process in a lab is equally extraordinary.
All of these makes diamond fascinating, right? But let's not get carried away. Just because they take millions of years to form and look beautiful
doesn't mean they are inherently priceless. Their value is more about precision than their actual rarity. But we'll get to that part later. Diamonds have symbolized love and commitment for over a century, and their unmatched brilliance makes them the top choice for engagement rings, necklaces, and other meaningful gifts. The global diamond jewelry market is worth over $80 billion, showing how much people value these stones as tokens of emotions and tradition.
But diamonds are more than pretty faces. They are workhorses in industries.
Their hardness makes them ideal for cutting tools like diamond tip drills and saws, which can slice through steel, glass, and concrete with ease. This is why they are essential in construction, mining, and manufacturing. In medicine, diamonds save lives. Diamond-coated surgical tools are used in precise procedures, such as eye surgeries. Even more fascinating, nanodiamonds, tiny diamond particles, are being tested to deliver drugs directly to cancer cells without damaging healthy tissue. Diamonds as tool for healing are a game changer in healthcare. So diamond proves their worth in ways that go far beyond aesthetics. They are truly one of the nature's most versatile creations.
Now let's talk about the genius behind making diamonds the ultimate love symbol.
De Beers, a company that particularly monopolized the diamond trade.
Didn't just sell diamonds, they sold an idea.
In 1947, their iconic slogan, "A diamond is forever," wasn't just clever, it was cultural brainwashing. Think about it, that simple phrase convinced millions of people that love, commitment, and eternity could only be expressed with a shiny rock. Suddenly, diamonds weren't just stones, they were emotional investments. Breaking up? Well, you could never sell the ring because a diamond is forever, right? De Beers makes sure diamonds became a one-way transaction of emotional and financial value.
But here's where it gets darker. Diamonds weren't symbols of love, they have been symbols of power, control, and even war.
The movie Blood Diamond isn't just Hollywood, it's based on real events. During conflicts in places like Sierra Leone and Angola, diamonds founded brutal civil wars. In Sierra Leone alone, it's estimated that over 50,000 people died and millions were displaced, all while rebel groups traded diamonds to buy weapons.
These are what we call now blood diamonds. For decades, they quietly moved through markets, sold to unsuspecting consumers.
To address this, the Kimberley process was introduced in 2003. It was supposed to clarify diamonds as conflict-free, ensuring no blood diamonds entered the market. While it was a step in the right direction, it's far from perfect. Some diamonds from regions with forced labor or unethical practices still manage to pass as clean. Critics argue that the Kimberley process is more a PR strategy than an effective solution, leaving loopholes for exploitation.
Even today, consumers can't always be certain their diamonds are completely ethical.
And let's not forget that two-man salary rule. Who even decided that? Oh yeah, De Beers did. Back in the 1980s, they launched an ad campaign suggesting that the perfect engagement ring should cost at least 2 months of your income.
Could 2 months' salary last forever? A diamond is forever.
It's a brilliant marketing, turning an arbitrary rule into a cultural norm, but it's also a bit manipulative.
Don't you think? It pressures people to spend more than they can afford, all to fit a tradition created by advertisers. And guess what? It worked. Today, the average cost of the engagement ring in the United States is over $6,000, driven by this carefully crafted illusion of what love should look like.
Okay, let's talk about rarity. Diamonds have been marketed as rare treasure. But here's the truth, they are not as rare as you think.
There are vast reserves of diamonds underground, but companies like De Beers have historically controlled the supply to keep prices high. By releasing diamonds into the market slowly, they created artificial scarcity. This strategy turned something relatively common into an object of immense desire and value. It's a brilliant economic move, but it makes you wonder
how much of what we value is real and how much is just clever storytelling.
The diamond industry doesn't always benefit the people who live near the mines. In countries like Botswana, diamond revenues contribute to the national economy, but many local communities see little improvement in their daily lives. In less stable countries like the Dominican Republic of Congo, miners often work in dangerous conditions for extremely low pay. Child labor and exploitation remain persistent issues in some areas, showing how the wealth from diamonds rarely trickles down to the people who need it most.
Despite these challenges, there is hope for change. Lab-grown diamonds are emerging as a sustainable
and ethical alternative to mined diamonds. They are created in controlled environments, requiring no destruction of land or exploitation of labor. Consumers are starting to question the origin of their diamonds, pushing for more transparency and ethical practices in the industry.
Diamonds may sparkle, but the reality behind them isn't always so shiny.
To fix the problems tied to diamonds, we need action on two fronts: better industry practices and smarter consumer choices. Mining must become more sustainable, with methods that protect ecosystems and prevent pollution. Transparency is equally important. Consumers deserve to know exactly where their diamonds come from. Lab-grown diamonds are a game changer. They are just as beautiful as natural ones, but come without the environmental damage or ethical concerns. Choosing these gems isn't just trendy, it's a statement about fairness and responsibility. As more people embrace these alternatives, the industry will have no choice but to evolve.
So next time you see one sparkle, ask yourself, does this story shine as bright as its story?
You shone like the sun.